to Holy Trinity second grade 7th annual wax museum. So this is always one of my favorite projects that they do and presentations that they do. It's the culmination of everything we've practiced and been doing all year comes together, and they have really been working hard, and you all have been working hard helping them get ready, and thank you for practicing with them. I think you're going to be amazed. They're going to do a great job. So without further ado, here we go. Are you ready? There you go.
Now, Peter, quiet down. Don't worry. That's just my rabbit, Peter. And sorry. I wrote the tale of Peter Rabbit and 28 more books. I was born on July 28th in 1866 in London, England. When I was a child, I used to sneak forest animals into my room and take pictures of them. After I wrote my first book, I stabbed into the publisher 6 times. I got back 6 rejection letters. So I paid to have 250 copies printed. If I wouldn't have done this, the world may have never had a chance to meet Peter or any other of my stories. Close your eyes. Plug your ears. Can you hear me? Can you see me? That is what it is like for me. Hi, my name is Helen Keller. My life was simple and the same as every other baby until I was a year and a half old. I became deaf. I got a high fever and became deaf and blind. At the age of 7, Annie Sullivan came to teach me how to communicate. I learned what words were by feeling people's hands, why they spelled the words out in sign language. At 24 years old, I became the first deaf and blind person to graduate college. In my life, I helped to pass laws for the blind. I died in 1968 at the age of 88, and my story continues to inspire many people today. Hi, I'm Marie Curie. I was born on November 7, 1867 in Warsaw, Poland. I was the youngest of 5 children. After school, I went to the following university and then the Sorbonne. A few years later, I met a man named Pierre Curie. We got married on July 26, 1895 in France. I had 2 daughters, Eve and Irene. I won 2 Nobel Prizes, one for radium and one for polonium. I died on July 4th, 1934. Au revoir. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge or imagination. Hi, I'm Alice. I was born on March 14th, 1879 in Ulm, Germany. I was raised in a Jewish family. My dad sold feather beds. I wondered why my compass always pointed north, and that is how my interest in science began. During school, a teacher told me that I'd never amount to anything. I had a hard time in school because of my father's business failures. I had a hard time in school because of this. I created the principle of relativity. That means the speed of light is a constant. This is represented by E equals mc squared. I died on April 18, 1955 in New Jersey.
Hi there, I'm busy drawing my famous cartoon named Mickey. My name is Walt Disney. I was born in Chicago, Illinois, 1901, December 5th. When I was a child, I lived in a farm. I love it to play with animals and also love it to read. Draw. In 1918, I took the ambulance in World War I. After World War I started new studios with my brother Roy. And early in my work, I had a stolen cartoon named Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I didn't give up my job, and then I created Mickey Mouse. My first cartoon with sound was College Team Bot Willie. I was awarded with several prizes for my work. I created Disneyland in 1955. I died in 1966 of lung cancer. One of my famous quotes is, "Laughter is timeless, imagination has no age, dreams are forever."
Do you know what it's like being a pioneer? Well, I do. You do everything by hand, no cars or electricity. Pioneers use this to turn milk into butter. It's a lot of work. Hi, my name is Wilder, and I grew up as a pioneer. I was born February 7, 1867 in Keller, Wisconsin. I was born in a log cabin in the woods, and I had 3 sisters and called my parents Ma and Pa. Our family moved west when I was 2 years old. We traveled in the covered wagon and finally built a house in South Dakota. We had survived the worst locust swarm. It was the largest in history. Locusts are grasshoppers. Our family farm was ruined and we almost starved to death. When I was 15, I became a school teacher. And when I was 18, I married Alonzo Wilder and had a daughter named Forrest. I wrote my first articles about chickens, but I'm famous for my Little House on the Prairie books. I wrote those books with my daughter in 1932 when I was 65 years old after I moved back to Wisconsin. Later, they made those books into a TV series. You may have seen them, but mostly I hope you read my books. Remember when I was 65 years old when I started to write books? I want to tell you that the future is now has to make it what we love. Thank you.
Jeter, the rookie from Kalamazoo, takes the lead off second after his double. There's a line signal away. Jeter comes to line third. He's racing for the plate. Here's the throw. David Jeter slides on the attack, and he is safe. The Yankees win the World Series. Holy cow, David Jeter, the kid who came out of nowhere, has helped the Bombers return to glory. Listen to the crowd roar his name. Hi, I'm David Jeter. I was born on June 26, 1974 in New Jersey. I'm a former professional baseball player. I played shortstop mainly because my dad played shortstop in college. I spent my 20 years playing for the Pele New York Yankees and 11 of those years team captain, with winning 5 World Series championships. Leadership is more about what you do than what you say. It was a lesson learned from my parents at a young age. My father, Sanderson, was a substance abuse counselor, and my mother was an accountant. We moved to Kalamazoo, Michigan when I was 4 years old. I had a little sister named Shirley who was a softball star in high school. I was 8 years old when I realized that my goal wanted to grow up and play professionally in the Major League Baseball. My grandmother made sure I remained a loyal Yankee fan, having been born in New Jersey even after we moved to Michigan. I dreamed of having a career playing for the New York Yankees. One key event in my life was me signing a contract that my parents had drafted. They signed me this contract every year. This contract taught me at a young age to have a positive attitude and never use the word can't. I learned that family, school, and treating all people with respect was important. If I failed to any terms of the contract, I was not allowed to play baseball, hang out with my friends, or go to any MLB games. Staying true to the contract was a reminder, kept me on track, and helped me focus on what was important. The contract my parents created and injuries that sidelined me during my baseball career inspired me to become an author. I wrote several books, including the one, The Actual Contract, my parents had signed me as a kid. I won the Roberto Clemente Award in 2009, which meant so much to me and my family. The award is given annually to the player who best represents the game of baseball, sportsmanship, and community involvement. I started the Tone 2 Foundation with my father in 1996 to motivate young people to turn away from drugs and alcohol and turn to healthy lifestyles. Since it's been launched in 1996, my foundation has awarded more than $34 million to support children. My overall consistency and support of my family helped me to make my baseball dream as a child come true. I welcome the responsibility that comes along with as an adult with my children of my own. I continue to pay it forward and give back to my community. There may be people who have more talent than you, but there's no excuse for anyone work harder than you do, and I believe that. Fun fact, I played my last amateur baseball game against Donald D. Donatus in Battle Creek, Michigan before signing my professional contract with the New York Yankees the next day.
I am the most famous explorer in Europe. My famous quote is, I never told half of what I said. Guess who I am? Yes, you are right. I am Marco Polo. I was born in 1254, Venice, Italy. After I was born, my mother died. After I was born, my father and uncle went to China, Asia, so young that I was 15 years old. I didn't have time to spend in school, so my family taught the knowledge they knew for me. When I lived with my relatives when I was as a boy. When I was 17 years old, I went to China with my father and uncle. It took 3 years to get there. I met lots of different people and went to lots of great places like Jerusalem. We met at the empire in China named Kirschner. He gave me a mission to spy around China to give information for him. Soon later, when we got home, I wrote my adventures in a book called The Travels of Marco Polo. My book was made to make a world-famous map.
Good morning. I'm hoping you'll be a polite audience member, or I may have to cast a spell. I'm Joanne Rowling. I was born on July 31st, 1965 in Yate, England. I'm famous for my Harry Potter series written under my pen name, J.K. Rowling. My agent was nervous that a boy wouldn't want to read a book about wizards written by a woman. I didn't mind and said yes. I wanted to sell books and thought it might be fun to disguise who I was. Harry Potter is a series of 7 fantasy novels. The novels tell about the lives of a young wizard, Harry Potter, and his friends, who are students at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. My Harry Potter series is the best-selling book franchise of all time. I'm a storyteller and would like to tell you about my story. I feel like I have lived a magical life in many ways, but magical doesn't necessarily mean perfect. The many obstacles I faced made me realize that failure is a very important part of success. I feel strongly that it is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well have not lived at all. The 3 key events who shaped who I am today were all challenges. My mom got diagnosed with MS. It's a disease that affects your brain and spinal cord. I was very close to her and she died when I was only 25 years old. Next, I got divorced and struggled as a single mother with no job and little money. Finally, my books were rejected over and over again by many publishers. I pressed on and used the struggles of my life to realize my dream of becoming a published author. I truly believe the tough times that I went through inspired me to work hard and write more. My imagination, sense of humor, and optimism got me where I am today. Sense of humor, like the time I kept thinking of how satisfying it would be if I could hit my ex-husband in the head with a broom. Thankfully, I choose to put those ideas into my story and not act on those impulses in real life. Otherwise, I may have not invited to speak at Harvard's commencements. I am most pleased that out of all my achievements, I've been able to start a charity called Valin. It's named after my mother's maiden name. The charity gives causes near and dear to my heart, such as MS Foundation and ones that benefit mothers and children. When you have been given far more things than you need to do wise things with it and give it intelligently. I hope you enjoyed your time here and moving forward, embrace your failures and look for the magic in your life.
Who was Sally Ride? She was born on May 26, 1951 in California. She was smart, liked reading, science, playing football, and tennis. But most importantly, she was the first American woman in space. I'll take you back to 1977 when Sally was in college getting one of her 4 degrees, and NASA ran an ad for astronauts in college newspapers. Sally saw it was unusual for women to be a part of the space program, so she applied, and in January 1978, she was picked to be one of NASA's new astronauts. Sally went to astronaut training camp and worked hard on tests and practicing. She had to jump out of a plane, learn all the buttons on the space shuttle, and how to fix things that went wrong in space. It wasn't until June 18, 1883 that Sally rode the Challenger space shuttle into space. Sally was a mission specialist. She helped design a 50-foot-long robotic arm that was used to launch a satellite, do experiments, and take pictures for NASA. After the Challenger disaster, Sally Ride was asked by Ronald Reagan to help investigate the accident. She wrote a report about safety in the space program. She also wanted to help girls do well in science, so she started her own company called Sally Ride Science. Sally Ride said when you're getting ready to launch into space, you're sitting on a big explosion just waiting to happen. 3, 2, 1, blast off! Yeehaw! Hey guys and gals, I got something to tell you. Women should be able to handle guns as natural as they handle babies. Why do I think that? Because I'm the best sharpshooter there ever was. Who am I? If you don't know who I am, for goodness sake, I'm Annie Oakley. As one of 6 children, my father died when I was 5 years old. My family was very poor after that and began starving from hunger. I learned to hunt to feed my brothers and sisters. The first thing I shot was a squirrel. When I was a teenager, I had to work in a poor house for very little money. Then for a while, I worked as a housekeeper for a married couple. They treated me like trash, so I went back to the pool house, because it was better there. But the way I earned most of my money was shooting. I was so good at shooting that I won lots of prize day contests and sold wild birds to hotel cooks. I made enough money to pay off my family's mortgage when I was 15 years old. I started performing in shows and doing sharpshooting exhibitions. The crowds loved me. I later joined the circus and the Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. I amazed audiences all over the world with my shooting skills, even the Queen of England. Because of me, everyone knew that women could fire guns and even outshoot men. I was a rootin' tootin' fuss for feminism. Yeehaw!
You got it.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Hi, my name is Johnny Appleseed. I was born in Massachusetts in 1774. What some people don't know is that my real name is Johnny Chapman. I am most known for planting apple orchards. I planted apple orchards to help new settlers claim land. I didn't like when the Native Americans and the settlers fought fought, so I challenged them to contest. In pictures, you see me with a pot on my head, which I use for cooking and sun protection. Nature conservation was also very important to me. I also consider myself to be a missionary of the new church, sharing teaching of the Christian church wherever I planted apple orchards.
I have the heart of a man, not a woman, and I am not afraid of anything. Who am I? I am Queen Elizabeth I. I was born in 1533, Greenwich, England, and I became one of the most powerful rulers of England. I even fought in the war with my soldiers and beat Spain. Also to show our strength, I would host huge parties. I would get dressed up in beautiful crowns, jewelry, and dresses, and I would dance until the morning. I never got married, even though everyone wanted me to. I would not let a man take over my power. When I became queen, England was weak. But when I died, England was one of the most powerful countries of the world. Oh, and one more thing. I hope you can keep this a secret. I wore tons and tons of white makeup, so nobody can see my bad chickenpox scars on my face. Thank you for listening to me today. God bless England.
Hi, has anybody ever heard of a wedding watched by 750 million people? Well, that was my wedding and how I became a princess. My name is Princess Diana, and people call me the People's Princess for all the good I do helping others. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born on July 1st in Norfolk, England in 1961. Before I became a princess, I was a kindergarten teacher. I have 4 siblings, Sarah, Jane, Charles, and John. John died as a baby before I was born. I married Prince Charles in 1981. I help others so much that I am the president of over 100 charities. I believe in love and compassion.
Fasten your seatbelts, it's time for takeoff. Hi, I am Amelia Earhart. I was born on July 24th, 1897 in Atchison, Kansas. I have a sister named Muriel. Muriel and I saw an airplane for the first time when I was 10 years old. I knew I wanted to be a pilot a few years later. In 1928, I flew across the Atlantic Ocean as a passenger. I was the first woman to do this. I believe there's more to life than being a passenger. So in 1932, I flew solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Then in 1935, I was the first person to fly alone from Hawaii to California. I am known for being one of the first women pilots and leading the way for women in aviation.
Goal! I'm Pele and I scored over 1,000 goals in my lifetime. I was born on October 23rd, 1940 in a tiny village called Tres Corazones. Tres Corazones means 3 hearts in English. I played soccer since I was a kid, but because my team or my family could not afford a real soccer ball, we had to play with a ball made of socks. Something like this. Because it was my idea to do so, I was named team captain and owned the ball. Of course, that was not always a good thing. Whenever my team broke a window or hit wires, it was always blamed on me. But I played soccer, so I kept playing. When I got older, I won 3 World Cups for my country in 1958, 1962, and 1970. I was the only player to do so. At the end of my career, I came to play in the U.S. I joined the New York Cosmos team and made soccer a lot more popular sport. I wanted children around the world to play soccer like I did, so I started soccer training centers for for children's families that could not afford a real soccer ball. Like this. One of my most famous moves was the bicycle kick. This is me doing a bicycle kick. The World Soccer Organization, FIFA, named me one of the 2 players of the century. Today, I am 81 years old and live in Brazil happily.
One fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. Hi, I am Dr. Seuss. My real name is Ted. I was born on March 2nd, 1904. You know that I wrote many books. The book I am most proud of is The Cat in the Hat. One thing you may not know, I was the first person to use the word nerd. I love to make up words. I wasn't very good in school. I liked to doodle. I ended up changing children's books forever. Green Eggs and Ham was one of the best-selling children's books of all time.